Good day, Jill. I'm Jennifer from SuccessStreet.net podcasting series and also Merchant Services Central Business Solution Specialist. And I'm delighted that Jill, you are here with us today. Jill Lublin, right, is here with us today, who is well known in the PR world, and she is specifically known for her guerrilla publicity books, her other bestsellers as well, Profit from Kindness, Get Referrals, and Networking Magic. And I'm so delighted you're here today because those are all areas that I know I can personally learn from further. And it's a pleasure of such an educated person being on our podcast today. And I see you brought
Well,
did you bring a friend with ears today? Oh,
I did. It's Bring Your Cat to Work Day.
thank you for reminding me, Jill. That's kind of, thank you so much. Yes, and some of the things that caught my attention about you, Jill, is you speak to publicity, and I feel like we've kind of gotten away from some of that with all the social media, but the old-fashioned publicity. Um, can you tell me something more about yourself and how you have bridged the old way we think of PR to how we work in the whole social media marketing realm today? I'm just curious about that.
Sure, it's a great question. And here's good news. See, I see this social media as a way to multiply your publicity. So everything I've been doing for more than 25 years of helping people, hey, guess what? Now I see that we have multiple opportunities to get that same message out in social media. Yes, shorter. Yes, more concise. I'm always preaching to be concise and precise, so that's the same. But I see multiple opportunities to create that visibility factor through all of your social media platforms. And then on top of that, the digital assets that the major magazines have, right? Or that any TV station has or radio station. So once you're on, if you did a segment on a local Fox affiliate, like I was on for Profit of Kindness on 8 Fox TV networks when the book first came out, hey, guess what? Guess where else I appeared? In 8 websites of Fox TV. Isn't that super? And that lives on. Or when I was in Forbes magazine, I'm in Forbes Inc. and Inc. magazine in Inc.com, right? So I see it as all multiplication of the message in a way that wonderfully creates more visibility for anybody in business.
Oh, I love it. And in being in the numbers world, I just think of the multiplying factor that has for a business owner. That's a great way to look at that. Helps me a lot. And then I was also interested in having you share with the listeners your broad brush stroke business story, and something about how you came to realize your purpose in
Mm.
you. And I know that that could go, into very long conversations, but share with the listeners what you'd like, please.
Thank you. It's interesting. I actually started my career in actually law school, and I thought I'm going to be an attorney, and I can't wait because I saw it as a way to really help people using the law, using systems that work. And well, Jennifer, then I got to law school, and that was not a great experience. And actually, I got sick, and I thought, okay, this is not a good place for me. It's not good for my highly creative mind. And funny enough, of course, I started in my own path there and started in the entertainment business and then ended up actually in the music business for 5 years. So what was wonderful about that is the music business is actually where I learned how to do publicity. Why? Because the music business is all about perception, right? And so I worked for these tiny record labels that had no budgets, and we had to figure out highly creative ways to get our name out there, to create artist visibility, and to get people listening to our music, unlike my friends at the major record labels who had $2 million budgets in their promotion. And I thought to myself, give me $2 million, I'll make anyone famous. That's not hard, right? But what we had to do was get creative and interesting. And that's really what started me on the path to publicity, to opening up a PR agency, to now speaking all over the world and writing books. And now I do my virtual publicity course and help all kinds of entrepreneurs and small business owners get it done like the big boys and girls do, right? And just get it done easily. So it's been a wonderful path, and I love where I'm at now.
Oh, that's wonderful. You have such a beautiful voice. It's one of the things I hear every word so crisp and clear. And I just wanted to say that to you. And you have such a great smile. If you haven't met Jill already or seen her books, you've really got to pick them up and take a look at her LinkedIn and Facebook. And I know that you have your own website, as I do, but you can find Jill on LinkedIn, linkedin.com, as you know, and then Jill Lubin, right? So you
Lublin, yeah, Jill Lublin.
then I apologize, Lublin. And then Twitter and Facebook and so forth. She's on all of that. Plus, you can find her books probably on her website, obviously. And I know you sent me some other shortcuts. What is your website, Jill, or landing page?
Go to jilllublin.com, and there's lots of L's in there, which is JILLLUB as in boy, LIN as in Nancy, jilllublin.com.
Right. Sorry about that. Yeah, of course. So good. So I had a couple good questions for you today that I thought of someone of your caliber could answer. How have you reinvented your business online, Jill?
So thank you. I'm actually having a blast. What I did, I used to do a publicity course live. You know, I do them in multiple cities, usually once a month. And that was also speaking engagements, all kinds of fun things. Well, hey, guess what? Now I can teach this publicity course live, interactive, breakout rooms, practical, tactical, get her done. And you know what? No hotel rooms, no fees, no traveling. And I'm getting people from all over the world. And then I reduced the price, which was a smart move. And so now I've been able to serve a lot more people at a very affordable price with all of my knowledge of publicity and getting it done. It's just been a wonderful blessing. And I'm very pleased to do this.
Oh, I am so happy to hear that. That's excellent. You just keep evolving, as does everything else in the world. And that's the way to do it. We just need to keep adapting. I love that little book, Who Moved My Cheese, too. You know, sweet, sweet book on adaptation. And I was going to talk to you about what are some of the essential business solutions we use? I know that there's management solutions. I understand there's all sorts of accounting packages too. And what do you use to run your business successfully online, behind the scenes or whatever?
Yeah, so I think tools are really essential, and you're an expert in that. I love that. What's been helpful for me is Asana, because I have team in multiple parts of the world, literally. So that's been great. Zoom, we've been using Zoom for our company meetings for forever, it seems. So that's been great. And QuickBooks to run my books. Most everything and every contractor I have is virtual or online. So finding tools to connect virtually is really important to me. And it comes down to pretty much those three. So, I can, when I'm at an event and there's someone I want to connect with, it goes into Asana, and then one of my team members, she'll pick that up and she'll connect to the people and schedule calls and all that good stuff. So those are my top three favorites.
Yeah, super. I know that Sandra Yancey speaks of Asana all the time. And when I was at the Platinum Convention, she had mentioned it and I picked it up. And it's such a wonderful tool, but it's been around for a while. And people like you would have known, right, that it's great. And the other ones. And do you prefer when you're do you work more with individuals or corporations? Um, which do you do more of?
So individuals for the publicity crash course, typically, and they would read my book, Guerrilla Publicity, they would tend to. On the corporate, with Profit of Kindness, the newest book, I'm doing trainings in cultures of kindness for corporations. And that's where I'm marketing more so for specifically. And that's been good. That's what I just think our world needs it, and I know corporations are poised to make that difference financially and also, both internally and externally. And we see a move to that. Honda, the cars, did a huge kindness campaign. Dignity Health Insurance is doing a human kindness campaign. So I'm so excited because it's really been coming out in corporate America on how to use kindness.
Right. Especially around COVID, I found that people, corporations, and individuals in the companies, there was an undertone of greater kindness and much more awareness, I believe, and sensitivity to, yeah, it's an overall sense of something I've been picking up. And was there an uptick in demand for your expertise around kindness in the corporate world around COVID at all?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's like all of a sudden people got more humane. Frankly, everybody's been dealing with a lot. And I think the corporations understand, so everything they did from putting payments on hold, listen, my insurance company said, hey, don't worry, you don't have to pay us for the next 3 months.
Mm,
Great. I still had to pay them, of course, but it was just nice to get a moment of relief. I think a lot of companies did things like that. That was smart. And that to me is kindness, right? You extend ways for people to figure out ways that they can survive and thrive in a time that's been tough. And I think that's a kind thing for a company to do.
yes, I have seen that in the payments industry as well. Companies that are removing minimum fees or waiving fees for things, even in the payment processing and payroll world. And I think that's been wonderful. People have been giving each other a break. And so humanity has woven back into the human factor has been woven back into the business fabric of things. So
Yeah, nice way to say it. Thank you.
yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Well, and when it comes to your um, payment acceptance, like, do you do invoicing? May I ask, do you have a shopping cart? What do you prefer?
So we do have invoices. They're usually built into our, for instance, if somebody hires me as a consultant, they're built into our contract. They see it right there. And then, frankly, they just click the link and pay and register. Then they immediately get their contract assigned. So I'm automated that way. I use Infusionsoft as my way to keep up with things. That's been great. And then additionally, I have a money, a source that will process all of the credit cards, and that's been great. So those systems are what I use.
Great, that's fantastic. Yes, yes. You want to get paid wherever you are and wherever your customers are as conveniently and securely as possible, right? Yeah, I can see that most definitely. And do you you have a wonderful office assistant, Mary Beth, who is right on top of everything. And that's one of your other, and I leverage my business with help as well. And it feels so supportive, and you're helping somebody else gain new skills, have an obviously earn an income, and you can learn from each other, right? It must be nice to have, I don't know if she's a 1099 or employee or whatever, but do you have a staff of people or just one person assistant?
So what I have is, let's see, 5 people. They're all 1099s. And then I hire people on an as needed basis from a wonderful organization that I use that has basically, these kinds of people, contractors, and that I can hire on an as needed basis. But I hired basically all of them through that organization, but they've all worked for me over, 1 to 3 years. Mary Beth, 8 years. So of course that helps. And yeah, having the first thing I do with any of my clients is they must have an assistant. I don't care if it's an hour a day or 5 hours a week, but you've got to have some help. Listen, in today's time, if you're a small business person, you absolutely need some help. And for me, I'm not going to be collecting invoices, scheduling people. I mean, oh, by the way, I also have scheduling links that I use through Calendly. That's a total lifesaver and time saver. I don't do my own scheduling. It's crazy to do that. It's too much work. If you're sitting there trying to make appointments with people, that's ridiculous. And there are so many systems for processing people and getting contracts signed. You have to automate. And without automation, all your time will be eaten in things that don't make you money. And what good is that, right? You're in business to make money, to create relationships, to serve your clients, to deliver your products and services. It should not be spent in the other things that are administrative that can be systemized and handled.
Oh, totally agree with you. Yes, the more you can sort of delegate always. And they used to say put the monkey on somebody else's back. But I mean, as much as I probably love monkeys, I'd like to say, it's the art of delegation. There's so many been books on that topic alone, but it's a wise woman that does that, I would say. And you're so correct. One of the things I've been successful at, a lot of my dental office and healthcare offices and other people that are in coaching and so forth, you can pay your bill online through the software platform that I use, and it comes at no cost. There's no extra monthly fee for it. It comes as with the mobile or iPad app, so they could pay their bill online and reference, a PO or an invoice number or whatever. And, it's just a simple link, and it looks like it's on your site because we get your logo or your business office photo, or both, and use the same colors, and it reflects your business. And it's just wonderful to have a payment portal. So any time of the day, people working day and night, they want to pay their bills whenever they're afforded the time, and they go on and they just do it in their convenience. And that's so smart that way you're taking advantage of some of those methods too. And how do you do any kind of management of your emails? Do you do a newsletter to your followers? Do you email them out?
So yes, my answer is yes. I frankly, with COVID, we shifted a little bit. I do a once a month email newsletter. I know some people say more, but I do that because that feels right to me. I don't want to overwhelm people with too much to read. And then I invite them to special things that I do. Like I do kindness circles, and I'm going to do a kindness summit in November. So they get special invitations to other events that I might be doing. And that's a lot of fun. So my answer is I manage it through Infusionsoft, which is our primary piece that we use. I don't think everybody needs to do that. It's not necessary. But what is good is to do that consistent and persistent connect with your clients and your prospects and let them know what is happening. I think that makes a big difference.
Yes, I'm almost 100% sure that's one of the platforms, payment platforms and management platforms that I integrate with as well. I've come across it. I haven't set up anybody recently, but in a few years ago, I remember doing so. And that's a really nice one. I'm glad you mentioned it. Yes, beautiful. So you've got all these, what I call these days, essential business solutions lined up that really work for you. And I'm sure you didn't add them all at once. I mean, you kind of kept growing into your passions and into what the demand was too, the supply and the demand, the law of economics, right? As people, if you saw a need for more, your we were missing the kindness piece, right? Or pairing together. I remember they talked about guerrilla marketing, and I didn't really like that as much, but I love the title guerrilla publicity. It is that just rings so authentically like something I would want to read about, more so. And if there's a nugget or a teaser to one of the many books that you have written, um, what would you like the listeners to have?
Well, thank you. Well, out of the profit of kindness, I'll give you the nugget, which is my opinion, is practice a conscious act of kindness. I know people say random act of kindness. I want you to practice a conscious act of kindness every single day. That's an important nugget. And then out of Guerrilla Publicity, which is my sort of foundational book, it's on its third edition, just coming out new again. I'm so excited.
Yay!
Yay, yay. Please go order it. Please go order it. Guerrilla Publicity. I would tell you the nugget is about creating a powerful message. It's really important for you as a business person to create a strong and powerful message, and then to be consistent and persistent with it, because the problem, Jennifer, is people get bored of their message, and so they want to switch. When truthfully, there are still people catching up with you, your customers, they need to hear it again, again, and again. I want you to stay consistent and persistent in the marketplace. That really makes a good and big difference.
Ah, love it. Love it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to bend your ear one more time. So you've got a couple other books. How about another? I'm going to now have to pick up two books. So tease me with the other two nuggets with the corresponding books, if you will, please.
Oh, sure. Well, with Networking Magic, that's the focus on how to network effectively. So one of my best tips, when we can all get together again, go around the food table, because people always love food, and they will be more engaged with you and a little more comfortable. We're eating, we're connecting. There's really a conditioning in our culture around sharing over food. So I always say to people who are, whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, go to the food table and start connecting people there, because it makes a great difference. So that's out of that. And then for Get Noticed, Get Referrals, my other book, what I tell you is one of the things, and a great way to get referrals. I know this sounds so simple, but people forget. Please ask. I'm amazed how many people I see, or, frankly, with your own clients, are you asking for referrals? Please ask. It makes a big difference. And the other, I'm just going to lay this down as a reminder for people again, is
Oh,
make sure you have team, because the best way to handle referrals is to have a good team to support them.
oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm so glad I had you on today, Jill. Seriously, I have two business degrees, and what you've offered already. I mean, skip Harvard, just read Jill's books. Really,
You think we can tell Harvard that?
not this week, but maybe another time.
I love it. Thank you.
so much. I just wanted to let you know that you've really spoken so well for, and having been in business school, whether it be Harvard Business School or any other school, I'm sure it would be honored to have you be a speaker at any of them. And you've been wonderful guests today. I want to thank you so much. It means a lot to us listeners, and a privilege to speak with you on my podcast. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a joy and a delight to be here. I hope I've helped so many, as I'm sure, and I know that you help so many. So thank you for having me.
Super. I'll take good care of this podcast, and it will be on Spreaker. It'll be on eWomen Network. It'll be on all the different podcast sites shortly. And thank you again, Jill. Namaste, and hope to talk to you again soon. Bye for now.